Welcome back to another week of Summer Anime 2025 tier list. I rate the most recent episode based on how much I enjoyed it, and Sunday being the cutoff. So Monday animes don't count. Okay, let's talk about Monday. Let's talk about the stuff that we already watched last week that I should have included but I didn't because I was late on the tier list, which is Grand Blue, Saka Days, and Lover. Okay. Grand Blue, I think, was a good episode. It was the haunted house. That's pretty much it, right? We did like a little trip to an elementary school. That was sus. Kohei's looking up elementary schools. Why? I don't want to know. The diddler. The jokes were kind of alright. The vertical slit on a cold piece of meat thing was pretty sus. Chisa and Iori, their ship is developing, and then he gets a job, and then a pink hair girl's coming back. So this upcoming episode that we haven't watched yet should be pretty fun because the drama's gonna continue. Lover. So hold up, let me think about it. The Yuri anime, we had Satsuki and Mai basically arguing over Renako, and Ajisai getting cooked. It pisses me off. Mai and Satsuki can go both fucking die, bro. They are so annoying. They just use Renako for their own stupid little squabble they have. And Renako's so stupid, she's getting like Ajisai involved and Ajisai has to suffer, which is so fucking annoying. And then there is Kaho, who's like the Aizen. She's like puppet master, just making sure the harm is going. And then there's Sakamoto Days. Sakamoto Days, I actually enjoyed it a lot. I think it was a great episode. Every episode has been great for Sakamoto Days, but the airplane, so we got the newest order member that we were introduced to, the camera guy, right? And that guy was sick. He's insane. The voice acting is hilarious, and he just blew up the plane for the sake of making a movie. Shin looking cool as usual. Seba-chan's little bro has been tamed. Akira shows us her powers, which is like stitching and stuff. Overall, great episode. We land, and now the actual, like, I guess, test arc will begin. And that's pretty much it for the Monday stuff. Okay. Tuesday stuff. There's no Tuesday stuff. Wednesday stuff. Krivates, Mikadono, and BBL Shota. Okay, Krivates' most recent episode, I'd say it was good. Yeah, just good. It was a frustrating episode with Krivates just trolling the entire time and then giving Alicia the weapon finally at the end, which is so annoying, but whatever. The insect guy is such a loser. His backstory is so fucking lame. His entire thing is, oh, the heroes didn't save me when I was a kid. Now, I'm basically gonna be the villain to show that heroes are useless. I hate that shit. What a pussy-ass mindset. What a loser. You could have just... you could have been the hero yourself. Instead, you're gonna blame everyone but yourself and be a little fucking bitch. It's crazy that he's the strongest magician in Bolate Kingdom too. Fuck that guy. There was some crazy revelation with Drell potentially being possessed by a Dark Lord. It's not even potentially, it's pretty much confirmed. I don't know if he himself is aware of it. He has to be, right? I think he made the deal with the devil probably. Alicia looked pretty cool. The hero speech was kind of motivating to inspiring, right? Because everyone gave up on heroes here. And Alicia also doesn't really know what the definition of a hero is. But now I think she knows, and the people are starting to believe, which is really cool. BBL Shota? Great episode, if not peak. We're back. There's been a lot of setup episodes back to back to back. I think it was actually peak now I think about it. Beginning part was a little slow in getting the pairings, but the slice of life was still so funny. Gitan truly was the Pope, right? The evil pastor guy. It truly was Gitan the entire time. A very obvious pick, but it was so obvious I was like, is it really him? So we got him there. The aura farming of him holding us hostage with Albert and the king being threatened, that was really cool. And then Lloyd pulling him at the very end and then fighting. The fight sequence was hype. Things are popping the fuck off. We're getting different matchups. I think today's episode or tomorrow's episode should be really good too. Peak BBL Shota. Mikado no Sisters? Probably here. Maybe peak. I don't know. The karate arc with Nico was resolved by how? With you scamming. he scammed so hard, but he still got off-screened. It did not matter. But it was all about Nico. And then there's a beautiful theme of what's it called? Her entire thing is forced to be tomboy because dad thinks that's what she is. But there's different sides to her. We've seen that in the previous arcs too. It all comes together as she embraces her femininity. But this also like somehow changes her martial arts style. She's no longer orthodox textbook. And with this new like character development, she's able to do formless fighting. I don't know, and then beats the karate champion. It was nice. There was also the buff, right? The U basically says, welcome home and I'm back, even though they're at school. They love that shit. I love it too. It's nice. It was a great episode, if not peak. Was it peak? I feel like I'll put it all here for now. Like, all these episodes are really fun and they had their own pop-off moments. I'll leave it in great for now. Now, we have Thursday animes, right? We just did Wednesday. Thursday is Dandadan. Where's Dandadan? Dandadan, hello? Where the fuck did Dandadan go? Dandadan disappeared. What the hell? Dandadan is here. We got a new updated picture. Where's the old one I was using? I think it's fine. So we have Dandadan. And then we have Water Magician. And those are the Thursday weeklies we're covering. Water Magician came back a little shaky. Just a bit shaky, right? Because again, we had a really outsourced episode into a hiatus, into a lackluster setup episode. And then this one, it starts to do pretty hype. The fight before Abel and crew went in was a bit sus, but still, I'm really like interested in, oh shit, we're like in the deepest layer of this dungeon that we shouldn't even be in. 38 is like the lowest, but we went to 40, holy shit. And then the demons, right? The devils. So they don't call them Akumas, right? They're called them devils instead, which I think that the Akuma, like the Leonore girl that we met, is probably like a superior form of the devils. Because they're humanoid and they have intellect and actually can speak. And the fact that like the great title board stuff, right? And the clear opacity, like the lighter tint of the monster souls, what does that mean? It means that Eclipse happens, then title board happens. That's a pattern. We know that the Akuma are involved. And then the monsters are also new too. They're respawns, right? So the Akuma, I think, are setting shit up. And the devils are like new spawned people. Anyways, we can talk more about it in the actual video. The Devil Prince was really cool. Abel struggling truly showed us that like, damn, these guys are strong. But then Rio is just on another level. It's not even fucking fair. Bro descends down like a god. There's like a divine light. And that scene was cliche, but I love it. It's a trope for a reason, right? Everyone being in danger, the main character pulling up and then saving everybody. The fight, I think is gonna be extremely quick, right? We haven't, he pulled up and just got rid of the other devils. The Devil Prince is still around. We'll see exactly how much the Devil Prince can keep up with, but overall, I'd probably put it like here. I think I enjoyed this a lot more than Krivates and these animes. Even though the quality was a bit shaky, the hype was still there. Dandadan, if we're talking pure production value, I think it's absolutely peak. Last episode was a visual spectacle of godlike running animation. So much movement, dodging music notes. The choreography of the movement was insanity. But even then, I don't know, it felt like I don't really care about the training arc too much. You know what I mean? Like, I can acknowledge that the classical music stuff was very unique and it's a visual spectacle, yet I felt it was very like long drawn out, and I didn't really care too much about them battling against fucking Beethoven, Mozart, and the big titans. Aida was cool. Okarin finally understood what it means to be like faster beats, and he even like bows all in like succession and takes them all out. I just felt like it was a bit drawn out. Still, it was a peak episode, I think. I'm gonna put it peak. I just wish that like I cared more about the training stuff, because again, running against random notes and shit, even though it looks cool, I don't really care about it, but god damn, it was a visually stimulating episode. And then Aida and Okarin relationship. It's blooming. Aida has a moment where she can't be the classical, the classic hot girl, popular girl, persona anymore, because she's like, oh shit, Okarin's risen me up. I'm being all genuine now. That was kind of sweet. And then we have GG versus Okarin, right? We got Evil Eye versus Turbo Baba stuff coming up in 2 days. That should be pretty hype. Now, Friday animes. Friday animes are Lord of the Mysteries, Arknights, Call the Night. We don't have to do it in that order. Let's talk about Call the Night. I think Call the Night was absolutely peak. I think I enjoyed it more. I think I enjoyed it more than Dandadan, because I care more about the plot right now in Call the Night than Dandadan training arc. The direction was fucking amazing. Anko, flashback. Her family, it's in shambles. She's very aware as a child that she's kind of spoiled and she was kind of making shit up, but dad was still cheating. Kiku definitely is involved. When Nazuna tried to go after Anko's dad, before that too, I think we saw Kiku walking past the cafe that we were at, and then dad comes in and then a vampire like basically knocks out Nazuna when we were pursuing. Nah, there's no way. The theory right now is Kiku basically turned Anko's dad into a vampire, but then he got dumped because Kiku just is onto the next project. You're boring now. And then he has second feelings and he's like, okay, I'll return to my family. And when everything is fine, all the happiness is taken away. The lighter, man, the treasured object, which is sad because this is something that he actually did care about a lot. Like, he cared a lot about his daughter. That's why the lighter was a treasured object. He never used it. But when he used it, goddamn, mom dead, daughter almost killed. It's kind of crazy though, huh? That Anko still like survived. She beat the dad. And that's how she understood the treasured object from the past and how that is like a weakness to vampires. The overall direction too, the horror-filled themes, god damn, it was good. The use of lightings and different gradient filters, the Anko the ground gray, brown gray background filter that we saw. That's what happened when the lighter stuff came in. And then like it felt like Geto and Gojo Satoru, bro, straight up. I was making jokes about how Nazuna with the glasses just reminded me of like Gojo and Anko supposed to be Geto, because if you think about it, these two are like best friends kinda, that also kind of just drift apart. And then, Geto aka Anko basically walks away at the end and she's like, I'm out, fuck this shit, and she snaps. And then we return to present timeline. Nazuna gets confronted by Anko finally. Now, I wonder exactly how much she remembers, because we saw a flashback, but like how much of that does she actually remember? Maybe all of it. It's really interesting that Nazuna and Anko still hasn't met in person just yet. Finally, they do. It's gonna be really interesting to see like how this unfolds. Arknights? Good. Good. We're out of the flashback. Mephisto had a tragic ending. Dokta plot revelation is getting kind of crazy. Pretty much it. I'm just still waiting for shit to pop off, but it was kind of like there's a lot of like new characters and stuff, and like the person that was speaking in season 1, the woman's voice when Dokta like woke up. Anyways, anything else? We'll keep Lord of Mysteries for later. Then Dress Up Darling. I say it was a good episode. I think I enjoyed it somewhere around here. Dress Up Darling was kind of a sus episode this week. Why? Cause grooming of minors? There's some the college people. Shizuka, the photographer that we met in season 1, her friends are around and They're like looking at Gojo and thinking, oh, a minor. I'm like, what the fuck? Akira seems to be very uncomfortable around Marin. Why is that? I'm thinking she's a hater, but maybe she's the biggest fan and we just don't know just yet. There's some like cosplay etiquette stuff that we were kind of learning. It was basically a setup episode. It was funny how Gojo thought that Akira was a boy and Akira thought that Gojo was a girl. That's pretty much it. Next up, Gachakuda, most recent episode we watched. Great episode. Probably put it here. I think so. Maybe here. I don't know. Gachakuda was really good. Gachakuda was really good. I don't know about peak per se. It was an insane episode because Jabber is... He's got a lot of respect for me. I thought he was gonna be a jobber. Straight up. I thought he was gonna be a one and done villain, we'll forget about him. Nope. He's in for the long haul. He was set up as Rudo's early game rival. He beat Zanka in a 1v1, beat Rudo in a 1v1 kinda, survived a 2v1, and then still came out on top, got confronted by Engine Squad, and still gets away after monologuing. And drops fat heavy lore about the series of whatever the glove stuff is. The symbol on the book and the gloves, it's the same. So that book that the person stole in like the first episode and framed recto, that's a series object. Anyways, some crazy shit, man. It's some crazy shit. Jabber is legit. That new manhole girl that came up was pretty cool too. Rudo was really cool too. Zanka was alright. Great episode. Yeah, Rudo and Jabber, Yuji and Mahito. It's a decent comparison, right? Early game rival. Main character versus, you know, a significant enemy that to kind of like build off the narratives of. It's nice. Kaiju 8? Great episode. I enjoyed this actually so much too. It was a setup episode. But the amount of like plot progression that happened was amazing. We got to see so many different captain squads. Hoshina came back. The beef with Captain was pretty funny. The Kaiju 10 and Hoshina collaboration make me into a weapon, but it's a sentient kaiju. Like it's gonna be really interesting how that works out. Reno also gets a power up. He's genetically like the best match for the strongest kaiju weapon, aka the number 6 suit ever. Reno's captain also, such a good guy, cares about his subordinates, tells Reno to just give up, this is not worth it, and Reno no hesitation. Really cool stuff to hype up the next coming arc. Amazing setup episode. That's why I believe, I thought about categorizing the mid category with slash setup, but I don't agree that like setup episodes are mid by default. I think most of the times studios just kind of give up on setup episodes and don't really try at all, but sometimes stuff like this can be an amazing setup episode, man. Summer Hikaru died. I'd say a good episode. Nothing too crazy happening. It was the aftermath of Hikaru and Yoshiki docking. If you don't know that, don't Google it. The plot, the lore of our countryside, right? Nonoki-sama stuff, the revelations. It's coming more together. The hamster guy pulled that. That was a really funny interaction when Yoshiki was looking at the cute hamster and the hamster shit on his hand. The cafe scene was really terrifying. Even the person with the knife outside of the school was fucking terrifying. Very eerie. People are getting possessed now. Yoshiki is fully mixed. Hikaru can't save us anymore because he's nerfed. The single mama pulls up and slaps the shit out of the spirit too, which was really cool too. Overall, good episode. Silent Witch. This shit's at least great, minimum great, if not peak. Silent Witch had 2 back-to-back insane episodes. Because the episode before this was righteous justice being delivered onto those 3 dumbass bitches. But this one was plot twist. The villain was our friend. The foreshadowing was there. It was peak, I think. It was actually really fucking peak. I enjoyed it a lot. Did I enjoy it more than Dandadan? I think I did. Silent Witch genuinely is amazing anime happening this year. This season right now. The production value is amazing. The story is also so... The pacing, I think, is amazing. Every episode is so packed filled with love and passion. You can tell that the studio working for this loves this show. I think it is an underrated show, even though a lot of people are recognizing it. Not a lot many people are talking about it. The setup episodes are very fun too. We got to see the Silent Witch actually use her powers. Summon the Wind Spirit King, whatever. That was kind of cool with the gate magic. Casey saw it all. Casey's betrayal too was out of left field, even though the hints were there. I'm still kind of worried about Dudley. Wonder what the fuck is going on with Dudley, man. What else? That's pretty much it. The Mewing Witch saving everybody. Very close call with, like, you know, the killing assassination plot. Great episode. And Lewis pulls up at the very end too. Isekai Minogra. I think this is a good episode. Probably top of good. It was kind of chill for the most part, because we just want to send our ambassadors to visit, you know, Dragonplan, which is the neighboring, you know, alliance kingdom that we're trying to see if they're chill or not. The mayor was very, she had a lot of tits. Very, personality is very, colorful. She's funny. Maria and Karia and the plague doctors, they were a delight. They were chilling until they got serious. When that drug dealer guy showed up, oh my god. It got dark real fucking fast. The plague doctors killing their victims and then wearing their skins while JoJo posing and memeing. Maria showing us, she's the empath, right? She's a very silly one, has very high emotional IQ though. She is vying. And Karia, her facial reactions, man. The horizontal frog-like eye, goddamn. It's kind of like the Atto stuff too. I love it when Minogra shows us like the dark, evil facial reactions from these characters. So fun, man. Next up, Fragrant Flower. Date episode? I'd say great. Where would I place it? Probably around here. Yeah. Fragrant Flowers had Rintaro and Waguri go on a date to the aquarium. I just have to show you this comment because it's so fucking retarded. It's... No, sort by new. Where is this idiot? Where's the comment? Basically, there was a person... Did I already ban... Oh, right over here. Why is it so common in Japan to do animal abuse as a date? And I had to think about it for a second and I was like, damn. You really mad that a fictional show is having a date happen at an aquarium? This guy is basically saying, won't anyone think about the dolphins? Comments like this makes me realize that the internet should never be taken seriously, and the YouTube comment section is just a bunch of plagued, you know, riddance of mentally ill retards. This person is actually upset and mad that the date was at an aquarium and that animal abuse is happening, and Japan is evil for that. I just can't. I just fucking can't, man. I mean, even like last week's episode for Dress Up Darling, I shit you not. Last week's episode for Dress Up Darling, someone was making a whole ass essay saying that like I went too far with my commentary about characters being fat. Like they wrote an essay about how you're fat phobic and like it's not cool to be mean to fat people and that they have feelings too, and I'm like, found the fatty. Found the fatty. Go hit the treadmill, fucker. Anyways, let's get back on topic. What did we just raid? Minogra, right? No, Fragrant Flowers. The dolphin stuff. It was really nice to see Rintaro and Waguri, you know, develop their relationship. For Rintaro to figure out his own feelings of why he feels the way he does through the help of like a grade schooler. What else? That's pretty much it. Well, there was the earlier part too. I think Usami really popped off in terms of like Usami's getting a lot of character lines and he's the red hair guy, right? I'm thinking Subaru and Usami might be the ship itself instead of Saku and Subaru. Saku ain't saying shit. Subaru's apologizing, she feels bad. Usami is just, you know, reaching out and being such an open guy. They're great. To Be Hero X, Dragon Boy, I would say. Let's see. Yep. Remember, new people, you have to read the rules. First of all, you're not even following the fucking stream. Second of all, you're spamming the messages crying about fucking Grand Blue. Third of all, your dumbass is about to get banned for not reading the rules. One of the most annoying the thing about this that really pisses me off, usually I'll just put them out for a day out. The really annoying thing is, you know that this is the middle of a fucking recording session of a separate video and you're still begging in my chat. No respect at all for anyone. Only cares about their own selfish desires. But what do I expect from the monkeys online? Okay, let's get rid of that guy. To Be Hero X, Dragon Boy. I think this was a great episode. Probably here. Let me just readjust this shit. I think I enjoy Water Magician more than Kaiju 8. Where did I put To Be Hero X? Dragon Boy stuff was fun, interesting. Smile and X stuff I was way more locked into. That's pretty much it. The episode was actually really chill. Like, nothing too crazy happened. It's just Dragon Boy just pulling up and getting beat the fuck up and getting groomed by Unk Rock, and then we have Smile and X, you know, doing their exposition and then getting jumped, and then Smile versus Dragon Boy. The animation quality was great and nice pulls up at the end. Great episode, solid. And finally, To Be Hero X, sorry, Lord of the Mysteries? Lord of the Mysteries this week was also relatively chill in terms of like pop-off content. Because most of it was figuring out what's going on with the Aurora Order, what's going on with the mental ward guy Hood Eugen, looking into his mind, the spirit world imagination that he was doing. The visuals were fucking cracked, which is really cool to see. There was some really funny slice of life happening with Mr. Maynard, Mrs. Maynard, the chubby wife of Mr. Maynard, who was cheating on her with a potential man, Demoness Sect, which maybe, I think it's Demoness Sect. I think Demoness Sect and Oro Order are in on it together right now with the Tengen Doomsday. That scene was really funny out of nowhere. That's pretty much it. The episode itself was not too crazy. There was some really cool stuff with like the Archbishop that ran away with the feather artifact. That's now been revealed, right? The Quill. Rated 0 as well. Kind of fucking crazy. I would say the post-credit scene was probably the most exciting part of the episode too. The City of Silver. Derek getting admitted into the Tarot Card Club. Now, why did Derek join though? What specific thing did Derek do for him to get pulled in? I think it has to do with, like, again, the praying to an unknown entity, but at the same time, the objects that they're using. There might be something very special about, you know, Audrey's mirror that she was praying to, or Aldra's cup, or whatever thing that Derek was praying to. And somehow the gray fog, you know, the mysterious palace of the gray fog is able to pick up on those signs. It's like a radio, it's like a sonar, like beep, beep, beep. Oh, I found it, detected it. And then Klein got stronger too with the Seer Pathway. And now he can pull in more people. Overall, great setup episode. I think I enjoyed it more than... I definitely enjoyed it more than these. It's because I care more about the plot right now. Even though Nothing too crazy is happening. Even though this episode is probably kind of like slower than most. Still really fucking fun. Now, let's recalibrate. Should anything go to mid? If I really wanted to be mean, I would probably put these shows as mid, but still enjoyable. I think these were good. Low-key Krivates could be mid, because I just really didn't care about the fucking insect guy, but the Alicia stuff was actually kind of inspiring and motivating. Should anything be promoted to God? In terms of production value, I think this should be. These two are genuinely so fucking amazing in what they accomplished last episode. But again, Dan, the training arc stuff, I just didn't give a fuck about the music people. I think this is fine. Anything in great? Is there too many in great? Anything I should maybe drop down to good? Maybe like this if I wanted to be really harsh about it. Something like that. I think Sakamoto Days can stay here. Or maybe it should be top of here. Maybe like I should bring these down too. If I really wanted to be harsh, because I did enjoy a lot of these episodes. Maybe To Be Hero X should be down here, man. I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it. Mikadona did peak. Fragrant Flower was really wholesome too and nice. Nah, that's fine. You can put these up here. I think these are perfectly fine up here. Water Magician, it's honestly, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I think this is like the more harsh version of the tier list. Anyways, that's it. See you next time.